Well, here's another one here that I don't think you're going to be able to see. Way down in the burrow. This is my male juvenile Chilobrachys fimbriatus Indian violet. And recently was moved into this new enclosure and did all this work, so I really am not going to tear down the burrow in this one to show you guys. I said I probably would with some of these, but I guess it really just depends on how much damage I would have to do to get to it. When you'd probably see it in the feeding video anyway. But yeah, I see it way down in there, but unfortunately I don't think it's coming out on camera. But yeah, you can see the amazing amount of webbing it's already done. It's really cool. Alright, let's move on. Here's my Avicularia, common pink toe, juvenile, unsexed. I haven't had this one long at all. This is definitely one of my new ones. I used to have one, but he died, so now I hope this one turns out to be a female, but we'll see. Cute as all get out with those pink toes. I think with its next molt we will put it in a larger enclosure. But yeah, that's the underside of the lid. It likes to hang out there. Alright, I'll put this one back. Cute. Here's my Thrixopelma sazamai, the Brazilian blue. And right now is a juvenile, unsexed. It is just kind of a grayish colored spider. The little tinge of tan in it. But as it gets older, it will have more of a blue tint to it with reddish hairs on the abdomen. Not much to look at right now, but will turn out to be absolutely gorgeous. These are actually pretty skittish and good eaters, and also like to dig. And this has been put in this new enclosure here and has already been digging quite a bit. So I'm glad that it seems to like its new home. So there's that one. Alright, we'll move on. Here's my male Nhandu carapoensis, the Brazilian redhead, Brazilian red. This one's a juvenile, a very slow grower. Had this one for quite a while. I think I got this one in 2012. And it's only this size. When I got it, it was only about a ½ inch maybe. I think it's about right. But yeah, very slow growing actually. Out in the open quite a bit. Ever since this last molt, it has become a very good eater. It used to not eat so well, but now it's really good. I think it'll actually be reaching subadulthood with the next molt. But yeah. Alright. This one's skittish, so I don't handle this one. Can be very hair kicky. But I try not to give my spiders much reason to flick hair, but sometimes I do with very little provocation. Alright. This one is my Thrixopelma ockerti, the Peruvian pink or flame rump. I'm trying to show you. It is absolutely beautiful, but it's way back there. You might could see a leg or two. Green legs, green carapace, pink abdomen. Gorgeous. I'm not sure on the sex of it yet, but this is a juvenile, but reaching subadulthood. But yes, extremely skittish and extremely hair flicky, and will point its butt up in the air as a way to scare you off. But yes, also a very good eater too. I used to have a male, but he matured out and died, so now we got, I hope this one will turn out to be a female. But semi-arboreal, so a lot of times it will be up at the top, and then a lot of times it likes to hide down there. Alright, we'll move on. Well, thankfully, this Thrinochilus murinus, orange baboon, is out in the open, unlike the other one. And they are the same size. Might be siblings, who knows. But yes, one of the two that I have, I used to have a large female, but she died of old age. So now these are the only two left. And just like with the other one, liked to make the webbing over the water dish there. Yep. So, very cool. Aren't they beautiful? It doesn't take long for them to get that adult coloration. Beautiful. And did I say that's unsexed? The other one's unsexed too. Alright. I'm glad we got to see this one. Very good eaters and highly defensive. But so far these little ones haven't shown any defensiveness yet. Just runny and skittish. Alright, we'll move on. Here is my highly defensive Phormictopus cancerides, Haitian brown bird eater, juvenile, female, and she is probably the most defensive spider in my entire collection. But they're known for that. Females tend to have that coppery brownish color to them, and then the males develop, I think, more of a purple sheen, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, so excellent eater as well, and they grow to be a pretty large size. But right now this one's only about 3.5 inches. But yes, very mean as I'll get out. Let's see if she will demonstrate that for you today. Yep, see what I'm saying? Yep, that is a typical P. cancerides. If you want an angry spider that stays angry pretty much most of the time, I highly recommend you get one of these. Yep, she's psycho. Alright, thanks for the show. You can chill out now. Alright. Here's my male juvenile, Augacephalus ezendami, the Mozambique golden baboon. I think this one will molt in the not too distant future. Has done a really cool amount of webbing there in front of his hide. And he does spend a lot of time in there, but he's also out in the open quite a bit. Yeah, he's awesome. I just love the golden sheen on the carapace. But then when it molts, it'll be even more brilliant. But yeah, it does appear to be in pre-molt. The abdomen does appear to be darkening and swollen. A very good eater as well. So yeah. Alright, moving on. Just to cut away from our regularly scheduled program, the Phormictopus cancerides that you saw just recently is still in the threat posture. And it's been a few minutes. In fact, she's more on her back now, because when I put the lid back on her enclosure, she moved more like on her back. They're crazy, I'm telling you. Alright. Alright. Next up we have the Hapalopus species Columbian, the pumpkin patch. And these guys, this is a about a 2.5 incher. Will be rehoused soon. They like to burrow, and let me tell you, for a new world, they are very fast. So definitely want to have a catch cup handy whenever you have to rehouse these guys. They're amazingly quick. But beautiful, unmistakable abdominal pattern there with the orange and black. You know, very Halloween-y spider. So yes, a beauty. This is the one of the two that I own. Unsexed. Alright, let's move on. Here's my very tiny sling of my Brachypelma klassi, the Mexican pink. Certainly not much to look at right now, but as it gets older it will be absolutely gorgeous. With those pink highlights all over the body. Kind of has a real cute fluffy appearance to it. So yeah, of course it's going to be this size for quite a while. Very slow growing. But yeah, this one here is only about 1.5 inches. Quite small, but a cutie nonetheless. Alright, moving on. Here's my Grammostola rosea, the red color form of the Chilean rose. They look very much like the portery, except they have more of a, reddish hairs all over the body versus like that tannish gray color that the porteries have. So, in my opinion, they're more pretty, but still really cool. It's another very slow grower. This one here is about 2 inches. So, but actually for a little baby, this one eats very well. So that's very nice. So yeah, darker abdomen in comparison to the rest of the body. Really cute. Alright. Here is another extremely slow grower, Aphonopelma marxi, the Grand Canyon Black. And right now this one here is about 1.5 inches. Little bitty thing. You don't usually see this one in my feeding videos either, because this one isn't one to take food on camera. And just not one of my best eaters anyway. It's an Aphonopelma. But yes, very slow growing. And so molted not too long ago, so I think it's going to be this size for several months. But yeah, very runny. This one will probably be one that will like to venture out of the enclosure whenever I do maintenance. But there's that one. Alright, unsexed of course. I do not have a microscope. So, alright. Now this one will be tricky to look for if it's not under the trapdoor. This is the Idiothele mira, the blue-footed baboon. And if you like trapdoor spiders, I highly recommend you get one of these. It is a tarantula that makes trapdoors. And this is the trapdoor. And I actually haven't seen this one out in the open lately, so this is also going to be a wellness checkup. Make sure the thing's even still alive. So, let's take a look. I hate destroying the burrow, but in this case, I'm going to a little more willingly to check and make sure the spider's still alive, as it did not eat the last time. I'm sorry, you're off camera there. Not much to see anyway. But, let's see. As you can see it's all like webbed in there. See, just like a real trapdoor. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Now, as for the spider, not having any luck finding it yet. So, could be anywhere down here. So yeah, I'm just going to have to dig it up. And I hate doing it, but in this case I'm going to do it just to check the well-being. There's an old prey item. Let's see here. Have to be really careful. Of course, it could have made another trapdoor over here. It just pretty much webbed all under here. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to have to get a free hand. Hold on a minute. There it is, alive and well. So I'm very happy. Oh, you could barely see the blue feet. Sorry the lighting isn't the best in the world, but yeah, at least I didn't have to destroy it too much, because I'll just be able to lay all that back down on top of it. It's all webbed up under there. So, but there you go. Awesome. Alright, we'll move on. Here's my other Hapalopus species Columbian pumpkin patch. They're about a molt apart. With the size, one of them's just slightly bigger than the other. But yes, but this one's just as runny as the other one. So there's that one. 2 inches. Alright, and this one will be rehoused just like the other one into a deeper substrate because they like to burrow. Alright. Here's my Chilobrachys Kaeng Krachan. And let me tell you, this thing is lightning quick. And of course, just like all Chilobrachys, does a copious amount of webbing. This particular specimen is about 2.5 inches. And just crazy fast, which is why I don't have the entire lid off. Because this thing will bolt, and the next thing you know, it's gone. So just wanted to show you that one. Do not look forward to the day I will have to rehouse this one. Not fun. Alright, let's move on. Well, I already saw this one was alive. This is the Chilobrachys dyscolus. See, I think this one's called the Asian Smoky. It's a little bitty thing, about that big. And it poked itself out right there and then went shoom, right back in its hole. So, yeah, since I know it's alive, I'm not going to mess with the burrow anymore. But, yeah, just not much to look at right now. Just pretty much a little brown spider. And as it gets bigger, it'll have kind of a grayish-bluish tint all over the body. So, alright, let's move on. Here's my Pamphobeteus nigricolor, the giant blue bloom. I think this one is in pre-molt. Did not eat last time, and if a Pamphobeteus doesn't eat, you know that they're in pre-molt. And I think this is a female, but hopefully with the next molt I'll know for sure. And they do indeed get very large. Right now this particular specimen is about 3.5 inches. But they get, what, anywhere between 8 and 10? They get large. So, yep. One of my best eaters. Alright, I'll put the cave back on and move on. Here's the smaller of the two, Brachypelma albopilosum, under and curly hair. This one's a male, and I think he's also in pre-molt, but he will be in pre-molt for quite a while. Brachy's, of course, take forever to grow, but this one's a sweetheart, just like my other one, and this one's a very good eater, probably even better than the other one with feeding. But, yep. Always glad to have another brachy. My favorite genus. All those curly hairs, so cute. Alright. This specimen here is about 3 inches. Okay. Here's my boy, Euophalis parvulus, the Chilean gold. This one's about 3.5 inches. I think he is in earlier stages of pre-molt himself. He's very skittish, so I really can't handle him anymore. I used to be able to, but he's just too runny now, and so I just don't handle him much at all anymore. Maybe on just rare occasions. But he is a looker with that mira patch on the abdomen and the greenish carapace with the gold on the femurs. Yeah, that's right, show him off. He's a good eater too when he's not in pre-molt. Alright, moving on. Here's another burrower. This is my Pterinochilus muticus, the king baboon. Suspect male, but I hope to get a good molt with the next time, but that'll be months because these guys are insanely slow growers as well. And I do have deep substrate for this size spider. This one is only about 2 inches, but of course we'll get a deeper, bigger enclosure once it gets larger. But yes, a fairly good eater. I wouldn't say the best in the world, but I think I've even heard it hiss. So, yep, even at that size, they're known for their stridulation. But they're really cool to own. No nonsense teas though. You definitely don't want to mess with these guys. Alright, moving on. Here's one of 4 Grammostola pulchripes that I have. This one's about the same size as another one that I have. This one's a male. And let me tell you, these guys are pretty slow growing too. At least with my experience anyway. Not the best eater in the world. Not this specimen anyway. I have some that are good eaters, but this one not so much. But yes, I've had him for quite a while. I think I got him in 2012. And he's only, let's see, what size would he be? I'd say he's 3 inches. So, yep. Really cool. Alright, we'll move on. Did I say the common name, Choco Goldeni? Okay. Some of you probably wonder if I have Poeclotherias or not. Yes, I do. I have several, in fact. It's just that they don't usually eat on camera. But this is my Poeclotheria rufulata, the red slate ornamental. And this one here is a, let's say a 4-inch, well, yeah, about a 4-inch specimen. This is a male. I was not happy about that. Because, you know, unless you're in the breeding part of the hobby, everyone wants a female pokey because they're just so much prettier. But, nevertheless, cool. But yes, and the lighting isn't too great. But yeah, of course, like all pokies, this one is extremely skittish. Very runny. And will do a very quick dash around the enclosure if it gets spooked. So there's that one. This one has eaten on camera before, but not as often as I would like. Very camera shy. Alright, let's move on. Here is my Asian forest scorpion. Oh my goodness, what's the scientific name? Is it Heterometrus spinifer, maybe? Might need to double check me on that one. But yes, I do not know the gender on this one, but this one is either full grown or a molt away from being full grown. Quite large. I think these guys get to be about 4 to 5 inches, right? And I don't know the gender, like I said. But this one is probably about 5 inches. Pretty close. So, I do not handle this one much because they're hard to get them to dismount. They really cling on to you. I mean, and you don't want to hurt them when you're trying to get them off of you. And it's just hard to get them to come off of me. And, you know, he's also quite skittish, or she, whatever. I've been stuck with the stinger before, but the stinger did not penetrate my skin, thankfully. Not that it would have been a lethal sting, but it wouldn't have felt good. But yeah, but yeah, easy to care for. Just make sure it's got water all the time. And give it a hide, and it really doesn't love its cave back in there. There's actually plenty of room in here, just you can't see it all. See it all, excuse me. But yes. And when I first got him, he wasn't really one of my best eaters, but starting to eat pretty good now. Just doesn't want to eat on camera much. Very shy. Very, very shy. But yeah, I'm really happy to have this. Definitely, all bark and no bite. Likes to show defensive,ness, but doesn't really do anything. But anyway, just likes to run and hide mainly. Really cool. Alright, let's move on. Here's the larger of the two, Psalmopoeus camergi, Trinidad chevron, female. This one is a crazy eater, just like the other one I have. And this one, let's see, how many inches would this one be? About 6 inches, I think. So, yeah, quite large. One of the larger ones in my collection. But yes, really crazy eater. I made the mistake of tongue feeding this one once, and it almost got me. Luckily it didn't. So I never tongue feed anymore because the appetite's just crazy. But really cool spiders done a lot of webbing in here. Really cool, like a real jungle in there. Alright, let's move on.